He wants me to just come take a look at what he's got and make a decision to build him a cool truck. It's pretty clear that Bill's an optimist. I think that he thinks that I can do anything. And he's pretty close. But he had a few things that were too far gone. This thing's pretty rough. Everything's fixable to a point, but I don't think this is the one. He had one cab that was up here that it looked like a freaking asteroid hit it. I don't know what to say. It was completely wasted. You can see where all the panels come together. Water's been sitting in there and it's just rotted from the inside out. I nixed that. He showed me a few other things he had laying around. And I really think this 48 International, it's a KB8. I think this is a perfect candidate. This is the one we're using.
The KB8 International that I ended up with came from Montana, and a pretty straight cab for a 1948. It reminds me very much of my childhood on the chicken farm. The first one we had was a similar body style, and I remember it well. So I'm excited about it, and I think it's gonna be cool.
It's got a couple dents in the roof, but there's no cancer. Only a little surface rust. Looking around, he's got this KB8. I liked it because there was no rot. Take a little hammering to get the roof back into shape, but it looks good. I think this is the one. Doors operate smoothly. Dash is there. They've usually been picked clean, but this is really sweet. It's got all the knobs, gauges. It's like super old school. It's cool. It's pretty crazy how a truck this big would have such a tiny little cab. I mean, to have two big guys in here, you know, going to work on the farm or whatever they're doing, not much room. It's all business in here. It's got the VIN number tags. It's legit. This is a good start. It seems like it's all here. There's pieces all over the place, but they all look good. Yeah, this is a really cool fender. I'm not familiar with the bigger International stuff in these early years. It's got some big, giant headlights, and it's in good shape. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. No real rust, just a little weathering. I guess this is the donor chassis. He says it's in good working condition. The plus on this is it's got a low mileage, really powerful, modern turbo diesel engine with an automatic transmission. It's just too big for my shop. We'll have to do it here. The fact that we have all the parts for this makes it a lot easier. Typically, I have to try to find some stuff, but it's all here, so I'm ready to get down. Everything I have done so far has been show car stuff, street car stuff. Building a cool custom truck is pretty much the same process, but the fact of this is it's got to be strong. It's got to be functional, and that's the challenge. Before I get started, I just wanted to get a quick look at how the cab looks sitting on the chassis. It's great to see the cab fit on the chassis. I really like the look of the original cab, and I'm glad I didn't have to cut it up. The problem is, the 48 fenders are set up for a much narrower axle. I made some measurements. I'm gonna widen these fenders 3 inches on each side. I'm gonna weld them all together and then fit it up. I'm already committed to what I'm doing.
We had the body off and laid it here, and in a very, very short order, he was widening the fenders, and I'm going, wow, how involved are we really gonna get?
The whole deal with how this thing is being widened is really just like creating your own puzzle pieces. So I put the fenders where I wanted them and just put in this high-cut piece of sheet metal to just make it happen. It seems like a huge deal just to get these things set up, but that's only the beginning. This is all preliminary steps. All the work I've done so far has been on the outside of the sheet metal. There's a lot of interior stuff, namely the engine and intercooler, radiator, they're huge. Since the thing's all in one piece now, I have to trim back all the excess sheet metal that's hanging around on the inside. My biggest concern with this build is the sheer size of it. It's a big truck, it's like 8 feet wide. So I'm basically just gonna put it on there and we'll see how it looks.
When I first walked in on this cab, I had my little grandson Lincoln with me, and he oohed and awed about it, and Ian liked that, I think.
Might seem silly, but Bill's grandson is here, and having him to review my work really helps out. Everything I do, I like to have sort of a childlike quality, you know, like a big toy. He looks at it, and it's Tonka time. Straight up, let's play. I was stoked to get the cab and the nose up on the chassis. Everything looks like it's gonna work out. It fits good, it's gonna steer. I'm charged, I'm ready to go.
When I saw the cab on the chassis for the first time, I went, oh yeah, this guy nailed it.
Looks like he's got a bunch of trailer hitch stock laying up here. So this should work for the slider. He's got more than enough. I want to make this nose slide forward and pivot. I think the trailer hitch stock will be the perfect thing to make this work. That's the stuff, man. So my idea for the sliding tilt nose, I got this trailer hitch receiver stock, and he has the interior section for that. See, it's different than the standard stuff because it's got rounded edges. So it slides on there pretty nice. I thought I'd take the rust off, but that seems like it acts as sort of a bearing. So this will be incorporated to the truck frame, 2 of them parallel, and then I'll cut 2 sections of this off, and the whole nose will slide forward, and then there'll be pivots here. So it slides off of the front of the truck and then pivots up. It's a telescopic square steel tube. It's super strong. I have a feeling it's gonna work out perfect. You can see here how they'll pivot. What I have to do now is create a cross brace that doesn't attach anything except the hinges so that the whole nose and bumper will rotate around this assembly. I have to widen this bumper no matter what. The whole concept with reusing material is that it gives you something you couldn't have thought of in advance. That's my trip, man. That's what I like to do. Find something and make it work. This is gonna be a recessed shape for the license plate to hang out in. The bumper is convex, it's curved on the front. The lip is about the same as this, about 2 inches, but then it curls forward. So I just left a lot of extra material out here so I can just put each side of the bumper welded in here and it'll be real strong. This grill is a little bent, so it's a little deceptive, but the whole framework is squared up with the body, so. I guess I'm gonna just cut the bumper right in half and just kind of fit it and see what it looks like. I want these guys to be an even left and a right, so I'm actually gonna just bolt them together through the holes, and I'll make a scribe across so that the left and the right sides are equal. I'm just gonna tack this on. I'm gonna use this line as the top edge and make it parallel with that. Just like backwards, sort of. That's the straightest crooked bumper I've ever seen. I'll take it. Doesn't have to be perfect, just better be real good. It's a pretty cool idea because there was never a bumper this wide. None of those trucks had a French license plate. Nobody's got it like this. The whole thing is it's super subtle. It's like I'm all grown up. All right, this is more like it. Usually I'm laying on the ground underneath stuff. I feel a little more in my element. So all I'm gonna do here is we still have the hinge that's just floating. The big structure in the center is something I'm gonna tie into. Just gonna find some kind of a bar. Maybe I'll use the 2-inch stock we have, and I'll just weld it on, cut those braces away, and it should pivot. It's a pretty badass saw. This 2-inch tube is attaching on the far end to that big center section that I made, which is super strong. And it's gonna come across, hit the tab on this hinge, and also hit the bumper itself. So it'll be like a 3-point bracket hidden inside. Puts a little more strength in the whole assembly because even though you can't see it because everything's squared, there's a lot of triangulation in here. Helps with moving forward and backwards and up and down. All right, so the last part of this is getting the sheet metal attached to the pivoting bumper. The truck was a little bit off level. I'm not sure what's going on there. So that could be in the suspension. All I did was put a floor jack under the axle, and I got the whole bumper and the chassis leveled perfectly. Fortunately, there was this car lift here, so I just attached a piece of that to the cross bracing and kind of strapped it off to the motorhome over there and just got everything squared up. A little pushing and pulling, but now that it's in shape, centered, and level, I'm gonna just build a frame at a 2-inch square, same stuff we've been using. I'm gonna make an arch that goes up underneath each side of the fender, and then just build some kind of gusseting around that just to grab all the sheet metal so it doesn't get out of shape when it lifts. So you got this old bracing in here. My idea is to come back right near the slider there and then arch up around, grabbing that original brace and also having something up here in the top of the center of the fender. This truck was not set up for anything like this. The engineers never imagined this for this vehicle. So I'm just building like a whole new front of the frame, basically. It's a bunch of jigging up and making sure everything's square, and then attaching it to the chassis so that it's strong and in line. So the whole idea is as this bumper's pivoting, this will pivot as well, but it'll offer support to the sheet metal. So I'm gonna do that on both sides, and then I'll follow up with those arch shapes. I've seen Bill come peeking around. You know, I've been hard at work. I think he's a little skeptical, but that only fuels the fire. That's making me want to make this happen. Yeah, the idea with using these curved pieces is by putting them through that machine, it makes them incredibly rigid. It puts a lot of stress in it. So these, along with a few other gussets, will be the support of all the sheet metal inside. The way that this curve comes in is going to be perfect. You see it intersects the original bracket in the fender. I can just trim that back, weld it up, and I'll make a miter joint down at the bottom here. It'll work out good. Once I got the under structure in place, I had to move on to the gravel pan. It was the last thing I needed to do to see if my idea was gonna work. The original truck has like this splash pan, gravel pan, whatever you wanna call it. It's like a trim sheet metal that goes between the bumper and the fenders. All right, so I'm gonna try to splice these pans in. The dimensions from the fender to the bumper are a little bit different. There's no real reason to use these except that I like the little design. It makes it look a little more old-fashioned. The frame spot doesn't really match up as it did in the other one. I'm probably just gonna cut them in half and piece together what I can. It would have been 10 times easier to just take a piece of steel and fill in the area where the gravel pan is. It's little things like this gravel pan modification that are my signature. See, this got split in half before it was all taken apart, so this guy will just weld right up to the grill like that. I'll lap it onto the bumper, steam it in, cut it right through there, move it over. This little bump doesn't line up with the frame, so I'll probably just make a new shape to cover the frame that'll sort of represent what was there. Right, so we're gonna cut her up, weld her in, get her done. Trying to use the original stuff because it's got these cool embossed ridges in it, and that's really gonna sell it. When somebody looks at it, it looks old, factory stock, but it's mutated, and that's really cool. There's a lot of work in getting this to fit, but it's worth it in the end, I know it. Par for the course. All of this work, I finally get the thing ready to tilt, and it's stuck. Bill's standing right there. It's just perfect.
It wouldn't move. It wouldn't move. And I went back to the, damn, it's so heavy, we can't do it. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, now what?
When you got 5 million welds, your percentage of some attaching themselves to the cab is increased, so in the end, that's what happened. The thing would not hinge open because it was welded shut. Like that. And it'll pivot up. Like that. There it is. You got a tilt nose.
It is just awesome. Really cool. Everything I hoped it would be.
Going for the KO, but I hung in there. I was bobbing, I was weaving, I was ducking, pulled it off.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears by that young man right there.
I find it easier to just put like a whole bunch of stuff all over the table, and it's kind of like a cooking show, you know? I don't really know what I'm doing, just as long as it's green, I'm gonna spray it. Put a little of that, shake of that, stir in some of that over medium heat and bake for 30 minutes. I think what I'm gonna do is just put a big heavy coat, first wet base coat on the roof, and then I'll move over to the doors after I get the first coat on the cab. Got this thing painted, assembled. This truck is clean. I mean, it's really badass. I wish I could drive it. The cool factor is that it's super subtle. The few people who've seen it are just blown away. Just because it looks like a stock truck. I mean, it's hard to tell. And you do the special hood and you show them what's going on. And it's cool. I can't wait to take this thing to a show. The thing I like most about it is the front view. Obviously, we know the fenders are widened, but you don't think that when you look at it. You just think, what a frickin' big truck.
There's not one thing I would change on this truck. I love everything about it. A lot of that is due to Ian and his persistence and his fabrication.
My job was all the heavy fabrication and assembly, and then Bill got down on all the accessories and finishing parts. He polished out all the stainless steel, got some bitchin' aluminum rims, got the special mirrors, the chrome horns, the air cleaner. I mean, he knows what a truck needs to be legal on the road, so he fitted out with everything DOT approved and all the trick, cool-looking stuff too.
Oh, the best thing is, of course, the tilt front end that I was very apprehensive about. You know, it's just awesome. I mean, I've showed it to people and they go, really? How does that work? Well, works like this, and you just pump this hydraulic jack and it tilts and goes out. But people that are not even car or truck people are very like, wow, it's just something way different. And that, of course, is the best part. And that it still has the old look. When it's rolling down the road, you can't tell the front tilts like that. But when you stop and you tilt it, cool.
The cool factor, it's like, it's a real question mark. That's the whole thing. It's people look at it, and guys who know trucks are like, there was no roll-off trucks in 1948.
I think Ian, as time has gone along, and I've done the little things that I've done to it, he now gets that it's going to be a working truck. I don't think he really got that before because he's never built anything like this. It's mostly show cars and toys. It's a show truck and it's a toy, but it's a working all of that. It's a multi-functioning truck. It'll function as a flatbed truck, a dump truck, a van, does everything. And that is the beauty of that truck. Yeah, I just use it mainly as a toy. If my wife were here, she'd say it's an expensive toy, which that's okay. It pays for itself and I have fun and that's what life is. But the truck itself worked perfectly. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with it. Turned out great.
In the end, I mean, Bill is stoked. He's super happy about it, and I'm jealous. That means it's a good project.